So listeners, I'm here to hang out with your slang out. How's everybody doing tonight?
Am I supposed to answer that?
Are you one of the listeners?
No, that's why I asked if I was supposed to answer that. Also, are we just supposed to wait until a listener responds? We don't have that kind of time.
Well, you responded.
Yeah, but I'm not a listener.
You haven't even mentioned my new voice.
Yeah, I think it's good. Not just good, but best to avoid it.
Why?
I mean, listen to yourself.
I thought it sounded pretty cool.
Okay. What do you think you sound like?
I don't know. I just thought we needed to pep this up a little bit. So I was trying this new voice.
You trying to sound like me?
Is this what you sound like?
You asshole.
No, because I was trying to sound like you. I would need the wisdom of a man.
Just one?
Yes.
That's fair, I guess.
So you don't like my new voice?
No, I don't even know why I'm supposed to like your new voice.
Jealous?
No, not at all.
This is jealousy, my friend.
Oh, hey. Hey there, jealousy.
Welcome to hang out with your slang out.
What the hell was that?
It's pretty good, right?
No. It sounded like you were trying to seduce a panda.
There's a band name.
Seduce a panda?
That's more of like our lead
More
single.
of a song.
Yeah, lead single. Seduce a Panda. By Wisdom of a Man.
By Trip to the Zoo. By Lion Pit. Ooh, actually, that's a good one.
You like
Lion Pit, because you would have Lion Pit at the zoo.
All right.
And then our lead single would be to her Seduce a Panda.
Ruby Red Panda. Right?
Fuck, this is weird. So, did your new voice bring a word with it? Or are we just talking like idiots for a while?
You think this sounds like an idiot?
Kinda, yeah.
What if I do it in my Australian accent?
That's even worse. and I could give you 1,000 reasons why. But what I'm trying to wrap my head around is why you're doing the same stupid thing that Christian Bale did to his voice for all the Batman movies to try to sound more tough as Batman.
Didn't it work?
No.
Everybody thinks Batman's cool.
Everybody does think Batman's cool, but I think the only way that he wouldn't have sounded okay as Batman is if he had inhaled helium prior to talking as Batman.
See,
he didn't have to go 3 octaves lower.
I think you're just being a tough guy because Christian Bale ain't in the room. Because if he was in the room,
he'd be throwing shit because he always throws a fit on set.
You would be finding out because this is going to lead to our word.
Well, I will fuck around.
You fuck around, you're going to find out.
Yeah, I'm ready to find out.
So you've heard of that word, FAFO?
Yes. My wife has a sweatshirt with it on it.
Oh, I thought he was your favorite clown.
FAFO?
Wait. I thought he was your favorite clown.
No, that's Noodles.
Noodles?
Yeah. Krusty's actually my favorite clown.
Okay. Noodles isn't a very good clown.
Well, Sideshow Bob was pretty great.
I like Lion Pit. He was my favorite clown.
No, that's a band.
Oh.
That is made up entirely of clowns.
He did sing to me, so.
Oof.
How long should I do the new voice?
I was done with it before you even started.
So I like FAFO. I think it's pretty clever and it's to the point and it's.
But I'm going to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
Is it slang?
Not any more than FOMO or YOLO.
YOLO?
Was that young ostriches like overnighters or something?
Your listeners probably think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like, and we've used it a couple times for sure, but is an acronym really slang?
Sure.
This kind of is more slang than the others technically because fuck around is sort of slang on its own.
True. Yeah. When's the first time you ever heard it? Was it that shirt?
No, I think she said it before she got the shirt. But for sure, it's been within the last 5 months.
I think I saw it in a meme. And then that night, my daughter came over and was putting words on. I think she put FAFO in there. And that was like, oh, it's a thing. Like, oh. And then think that's when you mentioned Candace's shirt that had it. I was like, oh, I kind of like this. And there are times where it's like, I want to type that word over somebody's forehead because you want them to find out, right?
Yeah, but I don't know why you would type it on their forehead.
Have you ever had FAFO? Like, or when's the last time that you've?
Can you have FAFO?
I don't know. I was just gonna say, can we have it? Because you said you could have FOMO, which I still think is dumb.
Yeah, but that's like literally like if you just set it as the entire set of words, then you would be able to tell that you can have it.
So FAFO was more like, is that like a threat?
Yeah. But I don't know that you would say it to a person. Like if you were on a car lot
mm-hmm.
and somebody was trying to overcharge you
yeah.
for your new Mitsubishi Eclipse,
mm-hmm.
which is already a problem because there hasn't been a new one of those in decades.
Mitsubishi. Okay.
If they were trying to overcharge you and you were like, I'm not going to buy it. And they're like, well, you have to buy it. That's the price. Like, could you follow that up with FAFO?
I almost think it's almost like a text thing. Like it's something you would say something you would text to somebody like, this fucker's trying to overcharge me. He's about to get some FAFO or something. You wouldn't.
He's about to get some FAFO.
I don't know. Are you type FAFO? Like, so, and then your friend's like, oh, he's about to fuck around and find out. Like, I feel like it's like that. You wouldn't actually say it to somebody, right?
I don't know. Do we have an expert?
You're the expert.
Well, not on FAFO.
Oh my goodness. First thing that comes up when you look this up on Urban Dictionary. Ooh. All right. That's not working anymore. FAFO, for fuck around and find out, is actually biker terminology. Tell me some bikers came with this?
Like Lance Armstrong?
Well, he fits, right? He found out.
Oh, biker.
Yeah.
Right. I'm an idiot. You haven't seen that movie, huh? Or have you seen that movie?
Which movie?
Super Troopers. Did we talk about this on a
Yeah, that's one of the ones I didn't see, which I should have seen. I wanted to see. I don't know why I never did.
You'll get that Lance Armstrong joke once you watch it.
Isn't he just a joke altogether?
Well, not in that movie, though.
Oh, he's not?
He's not in that movie. It's not a direct reference to Lance Armstrong. You'll get it. Just watch the damn movie.
Oh, okay.
Listen, fuck around, find out. All right.
In the wisdom of a man.
So it's biker slang?
That's what it said.
Like Harley Davidson motorcycle riding slang?
Yeah, like Hell's Angel slang. I guess that makes sense that someone big and burly like that would come up with.
Like you're at this little divey bar with a couple pool tables. And
he's about to fuck around and find out.
It's like, FAFO.
FAFO. That sounds like the guy who would be serving them at the bar. Go see FAFO.
If that biker bar was on Alderaan, yes.
Alderaan? You bringing in the nerds into this one?
Somebody's got to. I could take you in a game of pool. Oh, yeah? FAFO.
That sounds about right.
Let me just take off this leather vest I got here.
FAFO sounds like one of the names of a stripper at like at the strip bar called Beef. Sound about right?
Well, okay, so I'm afraid to ask this next question. But what does the strip club called Beef involve? Is it male strippers?
No. Women can be meaty too.
Sure they can. I'm just trying to wrap my head around this so I can understand how FAFO sounds like one of their names.
Sometimes that helps. Get it?
Gross. So
if you go to a strip club called Beef, you are going to get FAFO because you're about to find out because your life is not going well. Right?
You might also get FOMO because you might be missing out on a good time.
No, FOMO doesn't work because you're not scared of moving on from Beef.
I think you should be scared of moving on. Beef.
Because you won't be scared to move on. You're going to move on from Beef because it's all in the name.
Maybe.
All right.
I like the term.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand how to properly use it.
Like we discussed this and wasn't our plan to not actually use the F word in this episode?
It was, and I already ruined it.
Yeah, we ruined that big time. Do we have a limit to how many F-bombs we can drop?
I don't know. We contacted the FCC.
But if we use that word, if we use it in this voice, I think we'll be all right. We should probably give her a shout out. My daughter, Liv. We should give her the credit because you think we would have found each other if it wasn't for her?
When you say it that way, it sounds super creepy.
No, it's not. If you want to make it creepy, it was destined, right?
No, when you say if without her we wouldn't have found each other, it makes us sound like we're holding hands spinning around.
Careless Whisper?
Yeah. Not Careless Whisper.
Okay.
Anyways.
So FAFO in this context, that could be a good thing, right?
Because
if we're dancing slow together, Careless Whisper, we're about to fuck around and find out in a good way, right?
I want to know where you're going with it.
Can't stop love, my friend.
In this case, you might want to try.
I mean, in general, I'm not even talking about us two. Like, it could be like, Romeo and Juliet, right? They got FAFO'd.
I still think you're using that wrong.
Why not? Or why?
I just don't think you can say they got FAFO'd. They've got fuck around and find outed.
It sounds perfectly clear to me. So you don't like FAFO then?
I don't dislike FAFO. I just don't understand how to use it.
I think we used it pretty well.
Do you?
I did.
Normally you go to your source to find out how we're supposed to use it, and you did nothing. You read one description or definition, and then we stopped, and I don't understand.
That was kind of about all it was. Bikers.
That's all it was?
And that led to beef, and that led to Careless Whisper, and that led to George Michael finding out. Oh, too soon? We don't talk about Wham enough on here.
The FAFO effect?
Yeah, Wham.
Why the scary, funny, profane FAFO was 2022's word of the year. It was the word of the year last year. In case you don't already know. Okay, so as this article from the Washington Post says, in case you don't already know, FAFO is an acronym for F around and find out. See, they were cleaner than we were, but also Washington Post, to be expected.
Yeah.
It's a cheeky way to tell, cheeky, that's another slang term we can use at some point, way to tell people that if they play with fire, they might get burned, or to announce that they already have been. The Sioux Falls gang put a positive spin on FAFO, citing it as representing the gumption of their fellow students when encountering a novel challenge, and noting that the Urban Dictionary calls the phrase an exclamation of confidence. It is that, but it's also a whole lot more.
All right. That's pretty thorough.
Yeah.
I feel like anything we say is going to sound extremely dumb now. Or anything I say is going to sound extremely dumb.
Well.
No, Dan, you're fine. You sound great.
That didn't sound like me at all.
You sound fine, Shan. Don't worry about it. You're doing great.
Now that I have a more rounded understanding of the term, I still don't know how to use it.
So you're actually stumped for once?
And I don't think, because the more I read that, the less I feel that you actually say the acronym. Like,
I don't think you do. I think
you're right. I think as far as the acronym's concerned, you use it in the world of X. Not to be confused with the world of ecstasy.
Mm-hmm.
Or the world of anything that you'd want to participate in.
Anybody in your life or in the world you think deserves some FAFO?
I really hate how you use this acronym.
If you say me, this podcast is over.
Based on the use of this acronym, kind of.
It is over.
Who deserves to FAFO? I mean,
and you can't just say like Jimmy, because nobody's going to know who that is. Like somebody you work with.
I think Elon Musk is currently going through FAFO.
He is. He's got to be top 3 on the list
because he effed around and bought a company, and then that was unkillable, and then killed it.
I just don't understand his end game. He just can't. I do think he is that stupid because of his ego, his hubris, but it just doesn't make sense to spend that kind of money just out of spite and to be doing this shit out of spite. And that's what it feels like he's doing.
I can think of another person that would have spent the same amount of money in a spiteful way for the exact same transaction. I'm kind of surprised that he was not the one that did it. He may have just been indicted for the third time.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I think in a positive spin, I think that it's possible that we FAFO'd.
Mm-hmm.
Because we effed around with the idea of starting a podcast, and now we found out that we can do it. Not well, but that we can do it.
I actually think at times we are doing this well in the vein that we're doing.
Yeah, but nobody knows that.
That's the problem.
Oh,
not enough people know that we can do this well.
So if you're listening to us, first, I'm sorry. Second of all, tell your friends or tell a friend and tell them to tell their friends.
So there's got to be something that would fit FAFO with The Simpsons. And I can't believe you haven't come at me with it.
I'm sure. So the episode where Bart was prank calling Australia.
Australia. That sound right?
No.
Not even close?
Well, it sounded okay until you got to the back half of the word where it sounded like somebody shoved 1,000 marbles in your mouth.
That's what the Australian accent sounds like. Just heard myself. That was so good.
That was one of the worst things I think I've ever heard.
I used to be able to do the accent halfway decent. You just put too much pressure on me.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Shrimp on a bobby. See, that sounds just like an Australian dude.
Right. I see you played Knifey Spoony before.
You know, I had that like in 4 different episodes. The knifey spoony thing.
Yeah, because it's golden.
Can you come up? Can you say something else? G'day, mate. That sounds proper. That was perfect.
Hey, what direction is your toilet flushing in? Oi, let me go check. And then he goes 50 miles away to find his toilet. And then comes back and reports back. But it's all a collect call. It's a collect prank call.
Is it?
Yeah. And after all that, Australian Parliament just votes to spank Bart.
Well,
if I remember correctly.
He could use a good spanking. So I bet you anything, this week especially, you'll be using FAFO like crazy.
Well, first of all, I won't be using FAFO'd. No.
FAFOs?
Where my FAFOs at?
My FAFOs. Did you say fat hose? Yeah, fat hose.
Sure did. And you told me exactly where they were.
Good times.
Yeah, so I think as we're winding down this episode, what I'm realizing is I really want to hear one of the kids use it like in speech, because I think we basically agreed that it's mostly a text-based thing.
Yeah, it really doesn't sound right when you're just saying it. No matter how dumb I try to make it sound or fun. All right, I got to admit, I got to apologize to my co-host here because I gave him shit about Ruby Red Squirt on about half dozen episodes.
He sure did, folks.
And I haven't had it in probably a good 10 years. But I ordered myself some off the old World Wide Web there.
The interwebs. I know that sounds sad to order soda off the interwebs from a different state, but it was necessary.
But my goodness, is it nice and good.
Nice and good.
Yep. Why don't you get a big head about it?
He didn't want to drink Ruby Red Squirt.
It is the better squirt. It's better than regular squirt.
And I was like, FAFO, bro.
FAFO FOMO.
Well, he found
YOLO.
out. He found out it was delicious. That's what he found out.
If you know, you know. That's another one we got to do.
So what's the part you like best about the Ruby Red Squirt? Is it the little berry tint to the citrus?
Yeah, because
or is it the fact that there's caffeine in there and you don't realize that that's why you like it so much?
I think that's what it is because I had one last night just to try one. And I couldn't go to sleep for I had it at 10 o'clock. I was up till 2 a.m. It totally gave me a punch. I like it just because it's, I like to either put with my colas and everything, or even other stuff. I'll put a cherry in, like fresh cherry, or I'll do fresh lime. And this is just like having a cherry squirt. And I'm like, that's pretty damn good. So I was wrong, sir.
It's almost like the soda version of a cherry limeade, except that it's grapefruit instead of lime. But
No, but I was pleasantly surprised. So yeah. I don't know why this isn't available all the time.
I don't either. I mean, it's available all the time, but only in 2-liter bottles. Stupid.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Ew. All right. Cool.
But 2-liter bottles does kind of make sense because, like you said, it kept you up, right?
Yeah, how much sugar's in this thing?
Which means it's definitely like something that a gamer would crush while playing video games.
Yeah, it's like Mountain Dew. So, did you like my word, FAFO? Well, I guess it's not my word, but this week's word.
I didn't know you invented it. Yeah, I guess I liked it. I thought, yeah, I like the word, and you know what it is? I like the phrase better than I like the word. I don't think it needs to be an acronym.
Yeah, FAFO is actually kind of a weird word. It sounds like a crazy ass clown or something.
Yeah, and you don't have to make everything an acronym.
They do now. Ever since texting, everything's an acronym.
Sure.
We could probably have like 20 episodes. We could probably have like 50 episodes that are just.
But here's what I want, I think, out of this episode.
Okay.
What I really, really want is I would like our listeners, both of you, to write in and tell us who you think needs to FAFO. Because I'm interested with the answers.
If they put in Hoso, I'm going to be scared.
If they put in Hoso?
Yeah, hang out with Slangout.
Oh, like they
need us to fuck off?
Not fuck off, fuck around.
And find out.
That would be FOFO.
FOFO. That's my favorite clown.
Yep.
FOFO. He's from the 70s, right?
Yeah. You probably didn't want him at a kid's birthday, for being perfectly honest.
Do we want any of them at a kid's birthday?
Well, I think there's safety numbers. You might want all of them at a kid's birthday.
Yeah. Fofo's the clown that strips it.
They can't all do something illegal at the same time, can they?
Sure. Just being around kids is illegal.
I don't know about illegal, but morally questionable at least.
Okay. We could leave this episode out morally questionable.
This episode is morally questionable. I think most of our episodes are morally questionable.
No. We're good times. I think people like us.
Well, our families do.
I think all 6 people like us.
And we want to thank those 6 of you for listening at least twice each so that we hit 15 listens a week.
Yeah. You better hold on to your butt, though, when this hits. It's famous time. You're going to be hand modeling all kinds of hot dogs.
Hold on to your butts.
Yep. You probably won't even just be hand modeling hot dogs. You'll be hand modeling Ruby Red Squirt.
When this baby hits 88 miles an hour, you're going to see some serious shit.
Some serious FAFO. Sometimes I got to leave you breadcrumbs, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess sometimes you do.
Sometimes when we touch, the FAFO is too much.
So I had thought this was a good episode.
Maybe somebody will use FAFO in the way I'm using it. They'll just be like, hey, man, you just
incorrectly, but so many different ways that people forget what the correct way to use it is.
To be honest, 80% of the slang we're talking about is being used incorrectly. Right?
To be honest, 60% of the time it works every time.
To be honest, 60% of 100% is every time.
To be honest, 87% of statistics are made up.
To be really honest, the human head weighs 8 pounds. All right. As always, here on Hang Out with Your Slang Out, we really enjoy going over these words like FAFO.
Do we?
Yeah. Well, I do. It's not like that sorted bullshit you came at with the other day.
Excuse me? That is insultory.
Finally, a word you made up. That's not real.
That's not real?
No.
You sure?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know you don't.
It's some sorcery right there, my friend.
And you think that's a real word? Anyways, yeah, no. I guess we have. Well, I have fun.
I always have fun.
But it's mostly just mocking you. It's not about talking about the words.
I think that's the whole deal with this podcast.
That's
right?
our dynamic.
Yeah, that's our dynamic.
He says stupid things and I make fun of him.
I say stupid things.
Also in stupid voices.
Do I?
Say stupid things in stupid voices? Yes.
All right. That's a good song.
Here's this voice I'm going to do. That's what it sounds like. I
didn't even notice a difference in your voice.
When you do that voice, it sounds like you doing Sylvester Stallone if he was in a stage reenactment of The Godfather Part 2.
Ooh, that was a long way to get there.
It really was.
But you could be right. I just thought it was my sexy extra man voice.
Yeah, I'm sure that is what you thought.
Mm-hmm. Well, I thought I picked a good word. I can't wait to see what we do next.
I can. Tell us what you think, or don't. Yeah, maybe don't. No, we still want to hear from you. Or do we?
Well, I always want to hear from you because I always get the good emails.
That's true. Maybe
Keep
I'm
on-
just a little gun shy because only one person supported me so far. Supported me. Only one person has supported me so far.
That sounds about right. And that's one person too many.
Hey,
We can fix that. It's a game of odds.
by eliminating that one person that supported me, that's terrible.
All right. I'm Dan,
I'm Matt.
and this is Hoso Hangout with your Slang Out.
Dun dun dun.
So much better than FAFO.
All right, so we got some listener mail again.
Ooh, I love listener mail.
Yeah, I don't, because it feels like everybody disagrees with everything that I feel.
That's why listener mail is probably just about the best thing that's been ever created on this podcast.
Yeah, I knew you would like it.
Yeah. So far, so good.
So we got one from a Nate Brown. Do you know a Nate Brown?
Yeah, I think I used to work with a Nate Brown.
Yeah, I don't want to be jealous here, guys, but like I know that people that know me listen to the show. If any of you could write in, that would be really helpful.
Maybe the people you know aren't really good with writing.
They're plenty good with writing.
Can they read?
Yeah, they can read just fine.
Then why are they listening to podcasts?
I think the problem is they don't like us.
Oh.
Nah, they don't like me. They know me. Like I did say no. I didn't say that. Like,
You know what? I bet you anything it's jealousy, because I bet you didn't ask them
hey,
to
jealousy.
you didn't ask them to podcast, and you got this schmo with you, and they're like, the guy can't even grow a beard. Why is he on your podcast?
You are a schmo.
With a capital schmo.
But how am I supposed to look good if I'm not podcasting with a schmo?
Should this be called Hang Out with Your Schmo Out? That was kind of funny.
To whom?
To the next
I
viewer.
even had to use proper English just to
The
get
next-
you to understand that it wasn't.
the next viewer to listener mail is going to be all about that.
Oh,
Hang out with your schmo out. Hashtag schmo. Schmo.
Team schmo. So getting back to this mail, if you will, I think it was sent on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah, our
That's
Facebook
on-
page.
Okay. Nate says, "Hey guys, I love the podcast. I used to work with Daniel. Clearly, he doesn't know you very well. Who calls you Daniel? At my old job, fabricating fire sprinklers. You fabricated fire sprinklers?
Yeah, I saved lives, man. I was a friggin' hero.
I mean, I think that might be a little over the top, but
No,
Yeah.
this straight up. It says, it used to say it on our clothes. It used to have our name, and it says you're a friggin' hero.
did it say friggin?
Yeah.
Do they know how to spell friggin in Kingdom?
Oh, it didn't matter.
Oh, okay. Was there an apostrophe or did it end with a G?
No, it just had a giant eagle that said America.
Let's get back to the email. I wish I had known about your breakdancing talents back then. Well, one thing for sure I can agree with Nate on.
I did keep that hidden from everybody.
Probably smart. I hate to say it because I'm not a fan either, but how can you guys do a GOAT episode and not mention Tom Brady? I mean, I had heard it before, but when he started winning Super Bowls, to me, that was what made the word popular. I just found it odd that you guys didn't even mention him. Again, not a fan, but I got to give credit where credit is due.
Now,
Nate, we'll get back to you on that.
yeah, we do mention Brady, but I think we mentioned him in another episode that's not in GOAT. But we thought about that, and there's a handful of people that we didn't mention in GOAT that probably deserve to get mentioned. So I think we're definitely probably going to have a sequel to that.
GOAT 2, Lost in New York.
GOAT squared.
GOAT cubed.
There's a whole 10 minutes of stuff where we didn't even talk about cheese in that episode. We need to rectify that.
Yeah.
So it's coming back.
GOAT revisited.
There we go. Reborn.
As for slang words, he says, I have a few for you. Grip, as used as a time period, normally. Example, : I haven't seen her in a grip. Which sort of plays to, I believe, what we had talked about in the Hella episode.
A little bit. And we've been dancing around grip, so we need to really just do grip. Seems like everybody keeps bringing it up.
Yeah, it'll be a painful hour, but
Just for you.
Yeah, probably true. He said, had a friend who used to say this and I despised it. We can agree there too. Minute is another one, but is pretty much used the exact same way. LOL. Sick, drippin', bruh. Here's one that hasn't been shortened yet, but annoys the hell out of me how much it is overused these days and usually not understood. The word is literally, and I often hear it used 3 times in a single sentence by today's youth. Do you think he literally hears it 3 times in a single sentence?
He's literally going to hear it 3 times.
Or do you think he figuratively hears it 3 times in a sentence?
You know, I don't know. He I don't know who he works with now. He could totally be. That might be a thing.
Nate, I'm going to need some clarification on that, whether literally or figuratively.
I don't mind literally, but seriously, if someone was saying it and using it 2 or 3 times in the same sentence to just keep highlighting what they're trying to get across, yeah, that would annoy the hell out of me.
Well, yeah. I mean, and the kids, they're doing it.
Stupid kids. They're literally the worst.
If you understand the word's meaning, there really aren't that many situations where this word should come into play. He's not wrong.
No, and that's why the joke on Parks and Rec. Hey, I said it right. Parks and Rec.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. The Rob Lowe's character, he used to say that in every episode. So,
oh, really?
Well, that was the joke, right?
Literally.
Everything can't literally be the greatest thing.
Oh, it literally can be.
He has a podcast with that in it now.
I know.
Yeah.
I'd listen to Rob Lowe for a while.
You listen to that?
No, I would.
Oh, okay.
Anyways. It's like most of them throw it in to somehow validate whatever they're trying to say. It's not like that, Nate. That's exactly what they're doing. They're absolutely trying to validate what they're trying to say. Like literally.
Kids are dumb. I mean, not the kids that listen to this podcast, but
no, you guys are probably also dumb, but we're thankful for your listenership. He finishes with saying, anyway, that's all I have for now. Keep up the good work, guys. And I refuse to read the last thing he said.
You really have to do it, or I will post it on Instagram.
You're going to post it on Instagram anyway.
I'll screenshot it and show it.
You're going to do it anyway. He says, hashtag fear of moving on.
Anybody who's listened to our FOMO episode, which I'm starting to hear is some of people's favorites episode, is FOMO.
Which is weird. I think Bet's getting the most traction though, yeah?
Yeah, so far.
Yeah.
But FOMO is the one I'm hearing the most back from. And
well, it's one of the few that we actually called for a response to, so that probably has something to do with it.
Yeah.
The problem is that most of those responses have been wrong.
That, and they're either related to me or know me, so you always devaluate them. But they all have true opinions, and their opinions are apparently right.
That's not how opinions work, but okay.
But okay, so let me set this up a little better with Nate. First off, Nate, I love you, man. Haven't seen you in forever. He's the young guy when...
Get a room.
Yeah, I would have with Nate. He was a cute little blonde kid back in the day.
I don't think you can say little blonde kid on
he was
the air.
He was the young guy at our place when we started the facility.
Say goddamn on the air.
I can't say goddamn.
I wish you were a bigger fan of Major League. Anyway, go ahead.
We wear hats and sleeves and something like this. Lee.
Caps and sleeves at this level.
Okay, hats and capes. I don't know, something like that. And the Major League is some kind of movie about pickleball or something like that.
Sorry, I've derailed you. Get back on track.
Okay. By the way, Nate, I love you. Haven't seen you in a while. But what you would appreciate from Nate is he's the one who introduced me to Muse. He's the one that brought the CD. He's like, I think you might like this band because of the bands you like. As if you ever heard of them, I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he brought that over. And then ever since then, he was like my music guide. So back before you could, stream music, unless you wanted to do LimeWire and, give your computer cancer or whatever. He was the one who would he'd either burn me a disc or he'd like bring all his Chevelle CDs over and I'd get all caught up on them. And then he'd grab, like I'd grab we trade like Fuel and all the bands like that. So, but he's the one who introduced me to the Muse and I've never looked back. I still remember the day putting that on in my car and just my mind being blown.
Do you like Sunburn better? Or what was their second album? Something Like Human?
That's the one I like.
All right.
My wife likes the first one better. I like their second album. And I'm actually a huge fan of their third album.
Actually, isn't that surprising when you say it that way? Like that makes sense to me because their second album's a little harder, which is more your style.
It's a little more commercial sound.
Sunburn's more lyrical, which is more Jen's style.
You think so?
Yeah.
So she's smart and I'm dumb?
I mean, that's not what I was saying with that statement, but yes, that's accurate.
All right. So basically, I just like pretty things. That's why I like my wife.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I like Nate.
Is he a pretty thing?
He is after voting for my FOMO for fear of moving on.
Okay, so he's not right, but at least he's pretty, apparently.
So Nate, he's a closeted genius. He's just about one of the smartest people I've ever met, and his email backs that up.
Mhm.
You're not gonna believe that?
Mhm.
All right. One of these days, someone will actually write and said you were right.
I have a fear of missing out on a good listener email that, supports the proper side of that argument. That's for sure.
Actually, we do have one.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, but
We'll
save
get to
that.
it in a different episode, I guess.
Maybe. We'll see.
No, we'll get to it.
I don't know if there's a need to, but
No, I think there is.
you think so?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So we bring this back around to our email.
Oh, are we still going on email?
We should at least thank Nate. You should thank Nate as well.
Nate, thank you for your input, no matter how much I disagree with it. Actually, there were points in there that I absolutely did agree with.
I thought so too.
And you're not wrong about not bringing up Tom Brady in the GOAT episode. And you're also not wrong for probably why we didn't do it, because we both also are not huge fans of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But I would definitely be on the lookout for a second GOAT episode of some sort, because after the GOAT episode, I think we got a decent amount of feedback.
Mhm.
And even just listening back to it, we realized we had missed some things.
Maybe when we revisit, we could actually just take each sport and pick a best of.
Okay, but we're going to get to football, and I'm still not going to say Tom Brady.
Are you going to say Wayne Gretzky?
Yes, Wayne Gretzky was the greatest football player.
We can't start this again. Sorry, Nate. Sorry. But please write back again. Keep listening. Tell everybody about us. And I love you, man.
I don't know you, but I also love you, man.
Fear of moving on.
I have a fear of moving on from this email. Wait, no, I don't. Next.
Boing, boing, boing.